Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Good evening. How is everybody going?
Waalaikumsalam. Fine, and you?
Just fine, thank you, and we are happy to share knowledge about history building.
Very well. Thank you for inviting us.
Most welcome. First of all, welcome to this forum of industrial talk and we are focused on heritage preservation. I am Nur FATEHAH Najwa binti Muhammad Rashid as a moderator for today and I would like to introduce our invited panels. Our first special panel is Nur FATEHAH binti YAACOB. The second panel is ALIA AQASHYA binti TUKIRAN and the last but not least is Nadzirah binti Abdul Manaff. Before we start our conversation, I would like to introduce a little bit more about FAMOSA. FAMOSA is more than just a quick photo stop opportunity for tourists. Built in 1011 and the settlement used to spread across a whole hillside, but now only a lone gate, Porta di Santiago, remains. One of the oldest surviving European architectural remains in Asia. It is set beside the Istana Kesultanan on Jalan Kota. FAMOSA is perhaps Malacca's best known sightseeing spot. Originally constructed by Alfonso de Albuquerque, who led the Portuguese invasion on the Malacca Sultanate. The remains of the fort is now a crumbling white washed gatehouse and is located downhill from St. Paul's Church. In the 16th century, Formosa housed the entire Portuguese administration, including its Hospital 5 church, along that stockades and 4 key towers. One tower was a 4-story keep. The others were an ammunition storage room, captain residence, and official quarters. The rest of the Sebastian consistence of townhouses cluster inside the fortress walls. The fort was expanded in 1586 to accommodate Malacca growing population. My first question, why should we preserve the place or monument?
Thank
Fatehah?
you, the moderator. To the preservation of the old monuments such as Formosa plays us an important cultural role in cultivating the pride of our heritage and our past. Make us unique in the world. The sustainability of this old building is also important because it is a reflection of history to our country. This is said because this historical relic help us to understand, remember, and respect the ancient in the struggle of blood titration to defend the homeland into the hand of the invader. Thank you.
Thank you, Teha. Second, how about Alia? Does Formosa Malacca have a monument?
Thank you to the moderator. How as a question, my name is AQASHYA binti TUKIRAN. As we know, Formosa has its own monument as a release and reminder of the event that took place in the Malacca, which the Formosa monument, the people in Malaysia and future generation will always remember and will always preserve at the Formosa.
Thank you, Alia. Next panel, I want to ask Ms. Nadzirah, what are the steps taken to protect the place or monument?
Thank you to the moderator. Hi, my name is Nadzirah binti Abdul Manaff, and you can call me Nadzirah. I will talk about the conservation of Formosa building. Of course, we have to take care of the building so that the building will be in good condition. Okay, among the ways to preserve Formosa building is that the government should allocate a special budget. Facilities such as a rest area, eateries, and so on can be built near the location of Formosa to facilitate people who come to visit. In addition, schools and universities can also contribute their energy to help this historic building. In a way, school and university should encourage students to be involved in effort to preserve the Formosa building. For example, participating in volunteer activity to clean and upgrade the landscape. Not only that, the media can also contribute. The media can make passive promotion to invite people to come to this Formosa. The more people know about the existence of historical place, the more likely the location in turn provides an adequate source of income to the management. This is a little bit of what need to be done for the preservation and conservation of the Formosa building. Thank you for asking me.
Next, how do we preserve cultural heritage in our country?
Okay, thank you to moderator. Despite the progress we are proud of, there is one thing we need to preserve. Even though our country has achieved the developed nation status, historical buildings that we are supposed to guard and preserve are not swallowed up by the age. Such historic buildings should not be demolished at all. The existence of our origins and to be watched by the younger generation. Then fostering a love for history through encouragement from parents. Parents should take their children on vacation to historical place to attract and cultivate love for the country's history. Indirectly, it can increase the number of visitors and revenue of the company managing the historic building and boost to the industry. And I will pass to the moderator.
Thank you, Teha. Next, I would like to ask Alia again. Formosa is a monument to an event, or what was the use of Formosa in ancient time?
Thank you, the moderator. Formosa is the name of a tower building of the Portuguese after conjuring Malacca in 1511. Formosa is part of the city of Malacca, Fortaleza de Malacca, which took 5 months to building. As a result of the scorching heat and lack of food, many first laborers died while building the city. Material to building the city were taken from the ruins of mosque and other buildings. The construction of the city of Formosa under the direction of Alfonso de Albuquerque can be said to be a symbol of the resistance of the people of Malacca at the time, forcing the Portuguese to building a defense city once that took control of the city of Malacca. The completed Formosa city has a tower or calatums, which walls has thick as 2.4 meter to 4.5 meter. The tower are known as the Beliter San Pedro, Beliter de Salvigernes, Beliter Mederi de Dioso, Beliter Santo Domingo, and Beliter de Santiago. By 1583, Malacca had become a city, protected city with 70 cannons in all directions.
Wow,
you.
that's very interesting, Alia. Thank you. Next panel, I want to ask Miss Nadzirah, how long does it take to preserve the place or monument?
Okay, thank you to the moderator. All right, the time to preserve this Formosa building is only 8 months in terms of beautify the landscape in the area as well as facility for tourists who visit the place. This period is very short if provides various facility and beautification in the Formosa area in order to attract tourists to visit more often. The Formosa building cannot be altered because it's one to preserve the story that has been left behind since time immemorial. And thank you for asking for a period for the conservation and preservation of the building.
Thank you, Miss Nadzirah. How are historical tourist attraction promoted in Malaysia?
Okay, for this, tourists attract the promotion from the tower package. This makes the historical site one of the locations that tourists need to go to. Travel agents need to include historic site as one of their tower packages. Indirectly, it can attract the foreign stories about the history of our country and increase the country's source of income in the field of tourism. Thank you.
Thank you, Teha. How do we educate our children on heritage preservation? Can you give our solution, Alia?
In my opinion, as an adult, there are various ways to educate children to previous heritage, especially in history lesson, which is an evaluation for all students to better understand the history of Formosa, so that it will not to be forget by future generation and learn moral value based on the history of Formosa. In addition, it can also spread together social media, which is the first place to get information today, and indirectly can learn the history of um, historical exhibition that can share various knowledge and picture to describe Formosa in the past and last by bringing children to feel the sea for themselves. Formosa make them more interested, and so that we are younger generation do not forget, and the heritage will continue to be previous.
Okay, thank you, Alia. Next panel. I want to ask Miss Nadzirah, how much is the cost of preserve the place and or monument?
All right, thank you to the moderator. The cost of preserving the Formosa place so that it look more majestic and can attract more tourists to visit. Okay, the cost allocated is 150,000 in total against the place. This money will be used as a processing facility equipment as well as a material that will be used during the conservation process. Thank you for asking me.
Okay, thank you. Why is it important to protect archaeology sites?
Okay, thank you again. Especially Formosa historical site needs to be preserved in order to preserve the historical location that once are accurate there. This is because the historical site are one of the evidence of the identity of the warring even in defending to the sovereign homeland in Southeast Asia, namely in Malaysia.
Thank you, Fatehah. Next panel. I want to ask Miss Nadzirah, what are the agency involved in heritage preservation in Malaysia?
Thank you to the moderator. Okay, in Malaysia, the conservation of heritage building is indicated by the government and the private sector. The establishment of the National Heritage Department of Malaysia in 2006 has demonstrated the government effort to appreciate the existence of heritage building in Malaysia. The department will ensure that every requirement in the national heritage in Malaysia um, the department will be ensure every requirement in the National Heritage Act 2005 will be complied with by the respective authorities. In addition, the listing of Malacca as a UNESCO Heritage Site on 7 July 2008 has positioned Malaysia as a country to promote heritage tourism. The listing under UNESCO Heritage Site will be supported by relevant stakeholders, including both the owner, professional, and competent technical person to ensure that heritage conservation effort in Malaysia will be successfully. Thank you for asking about it.
Wow, there is so much information and tips that we get from this forum. I hope that we can preserve this history building in the future. In conclusion, as a Malaysian, we need to preserve history building in Malaysia so that we can carry this history to future generation. Therefore, people will see the privilege of Malaysian. How interesting, is it right? I should keep going. It would be nice to talking to you guys.
Thank you for inviting us. It was nice talking to you. Well, I have to run. I hope on sharing about this history about Formosa can add knowledge all together and also future generation. I hope this sharing is beneficial to everyone and together to previous and reverse the history of Malaysia so that it will not be forgotten. I hope Malaysia and future generation together take care of the Formosa monument, and we can learn a variety of pure value from the history about the history of Formosa. That's all. Thank you. Goodbye. See you again.
Thank you. Bye. Okay.